Greetings, welcome to Terra Prime Live. Darth Anonymous coming to you from Terra Prime headquarters. Today is a special day. It is exactly 3 years since I uploaded the first video to the YouTube channel, which started this whole thing, a trailer for the lightsaber camp, which kind of brought all this into fruition. So we are celebrating the 3-year anniversary, and we're moving into our 4th year. We got some stuff coming up. We've had a lot. I think with a lot of people this year, we've had a lot of changes happen. We've had a lot of stuff kind of thrown at us that we weren't expecting. So we'll see what happens, but we're back on track, and we're gonna really expand stuff and get stuff going in the new year. Well, we got a great panel here today. I'll just kind of run through us here, and then we'll kind of reach everybody since we got a lot of people here. Of course, we've got one of our masters, Nero, Jared. Our apprentices, Eric, Gary, Michael, another one of our masters, Vornak, Matthew. He's coming in from his exile over there, and joining us from San Francisco in the Golden Gate Knights and Golden Gate Temple of Saber Guild, Alan Block, who we've had on the show a couple of times. So, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the program. We'll get with it. So. Yes. Anyway, yeah. Somebody forgot the beard. Yeah, didn't get the beard memo.
That was me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So yes, here we are, 3 years later, and it's been quite the ride. Matthew and I, Vornak and I, we kind of unofficially started this thing a long time ago when we were trying to find a way that we could practice together from the different systems that we had. We had been kind of playing around with kind of, that kind of stuff, and I've gone through this story a bunch of times. And then, I stumbled upon the what was it? The documentary, it was Jedi Junkies, and the New York Jedi were in there. And I was the first thing I saw when I saw them was like, oh my God, they make lightsabers you can fight with, right? And immediately, I started looking into it and found that we thought they were a great analog. Kind of ran with it. I met. I'll kind of go through, give you in the way of introduction. I'll kind of go through how I met all these, the whole panel here, because other than Vornak there, all of these people I've met through this endeavor and through sabering and through fandom. So this is pretty interesting. So yeah, yep, I met Nero, Jared, when I started tossing back stuff back and forth on Saber Forum, the U.S. The Ultra Sabers forum. And we became resident master, with you guys, and we just kind of started doing stuff, and it just came like that. But I mean, so much has just we've come a long way, and I know I'll ask you this. We've come a long way. We've done a whole lot of stuff. We've gotten to know each other. We've kind of shared notes and done all this kind of stuff, and as much as stuff changes, it also stays the same, does it not?
It does. It definitely does. It's amazing how much has kind of like remained at the core, but I mean, it's definitely a different time now. There's all kinds of different options out there and things out there, and influences that change things. I mean, I've changed. I've learned things. I've changed the way I go about things, the way I think about things. So. It's good. I think we've gone in a good direction. We've established a really good base, and as long as we just keep going the same way we have been, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think we're you guys, everybody here that I've met has been great. We're building up a pretty good team internally, and hopefully we're going to be, putting out more stuff for everybody externally as well. Obviously, I don't know I don't know if Matthew is there because we never have a camera, so he might be away from the computer there. I don't know if he can say hello. Anyway, we'll come back to him, or he can just give us a shout out. Michael, Gary, Eric are all apprentices in our apprentice program, our Learners in Exile, which we've kind of brought up as as an expansion of the whole idea. My goal, and both mine and Matt's goal were when we went into this were to take these things and share them with a lot of people who maybe don't have the opportunity to because they don't have schools in their area, they what have you, and as many of the as all of the apprentices here can tell you, you can do so much on your own, but there is a point where you need a push, right? And you need a push by somebody who doesn't care if you like it or not. And one of those, so we started the apprentice program to kind of give people, certain people, and of course there's still only what, 5 of us, and we've got 2 people coming up in the ranks, and all that, but it's still very, very small, so we have to keep it tight. So these were some of the first people that came in under those auspices. I believe all of them here, if I am correct, have had no martial art experience. Well, no, Gary, you've had some martial art experience, but I don't believe either of the other ones have. Oh, and there goes Matt. So something happened. Anyway, yeah. So we've kind of gone through there, and we started that about a year into it, because the whole idea of this was to give people, a way to practice at home and do things if they don't have partners and that kind of thing. So those guys there are kind of our pilot, as it were, people there. So I'll open up to you guys. Any thoughts, questions, that kind of thing about your experiences thus far?
Well, I can begin. Being an outsider, not really formally a part of it, I could probably give some perspective. Just seeing how you guys have grown over the past 3 years. First of all, congratulations. 3 years is a long time. And definitely, like, I've encountered a lot of hardships as well along the way. Golden Gate Knights has been around for 4 years. So kind of coming into this, with a lot of enthusiasm and seeing some of the not so good sides of fandom, a lot of passionate people with a lot of opinions and ways that they want to do things, and can really damper a person's spirits about, like, hey, I just want to have fun and do this with other people. I definitely see, like, the 3-year hump, is it's a lot. It says a lot about your commitment to what you're doing. I've also just, like, really admired how much content you've pushed out over the past 3 years, and you've been very, very open about what you're teaching, whereas not a lot of other schools are, and you're always putting the different forms up there and experimenting with new things. And that has actually served to inspire me, and and bringing in some of your open source savior choreography or content, your forms, into our classes as well. I think your interpretations of a lot of the forms are great, and really, I think, have pushed us forward within the community. I know that a lot of people know about you too, outside of your class, outside of your students. A lot of going out into Star Wars Celebration this past year, and everyone knew about TPLA and what you guys were doing. So even though you weren't there in person, you were definitely there in spirit.
I definitely would have rather been there in person. But
certainly,
I know you were
certainly.
there, and I know it looked like a freaking blast.
Yeah, yeah. It was so much fun, just seeing like different people from all over the world, kind of coming together and showing their stuff. A lot of Saber Guild were there. People from like the Chosen Ones were over there as well. Yeah, just a bunch of people, a bunch of different groups going in there and just having fun. And I think any sort of differences that people might have felt were instantly pushed aside when you're sort of in the middle of that, like, hey, going back to our roots, we're just really passionate about Star Wars and, you know, kind of the chivalric code behind the Jedi or the more of the self-affirming code of the Sith and being able to demonstrate it, with the lightsaber. I think it's really great, and seeing the costuming and the performance aspects there, there's just so much to admire. So I just really like to put it there, from the Golden Gate Knights and from Saber Guild. Congratulations on you all for continuing forward, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys are up to.
Well, thank you.
Force is with you.
Oh well, thank you. No, that means a lot coming from you guys. You guys have been around for a long time. As we said, like the celebration was just last week, so we've all been inundated with these images of people who've been able to go, and it just looks like so much incredible fun. And of course, I watched the webcast, the simulcast, and all that kind of thing going on, to be a little bit vicarious. But they kept cutting away from everything to go back to those two idiots talking on the floor, which is just like, ah! But I did get to see. I think I saw you, Alan. I know I saw Dan and Phil from Saber Forge. All of them walking amongst the crowd. I know I saw a couple of other people who I know I'm missing right now, but I know that.
Oh,
So
the IGN video that was posted.
no, they would, between the panels and stuff like that on YouTube, they had just like kind of like a live feed of the convention floor, and they would just pan around on it, and I would see people walking around it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
saw
So,
Daniel Lane and Phil. Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool.
yeah, so you were probably more visible than you realize.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I was in costume every day, just switching it up, and yeah, it was great. And they even had like they had a little Jedi training, but it was for the kids. They had the Disney Jedi training, which is still a lot of fun. I wish I was 8 years old and can jump on stage and fight Darth Vader like that. I tell you what, it was pretty cool. And then there was also this huge, I don't know if you got to see it, but the huge open area where all the different temples within Saber guilds and other groups got to go up there and do a performance. Some of them were pretty long, actually. So every day at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, there was a different performance that was happening. So I don't know if you had a chance to see those, but I think there are some videos around. Check on Facebook.
I'm sure. It'll be months before I kind of get through everything, if I get through everything. But anyway, let me throw it back over to the apprentices here, and I don't know if we want to start. I don't know who wants to start here, but you guys are probably, all of you guys came in around the same time. So I would say probably, what, 2 years, about something like that. Okay. So yeah, anybody who wants to start, if how's it been going, and where are you now?
Michael.
Well, Eric?
Nope, hit it, Michael. Go.
All right. Well, I just want to say congratulations, Master Anonymous. We have covered the issue of the tons of material you have put out there. It's so phenomenal. When you are in a Star Wars related forum, and the question pops up, where is online material? Where do I have to look when I want to learn lightsaber combat? You can go like 3, 2, 1, 0. Yes, you must check the TPLA page. It's just a great thing you have started here. And for me personally, you have hooked me 2.5 years ago. and you got me moving, and I'm out there every day doing the stuff you tell me to do, and no teacher has done that to me before. So it's a great experience, and I'm so glad to be in this program. And I am so glad that you have the still have the power to get this thing going. And so congratulations to you personally and to TPLA as a whole. It's something I need. It's something we all need. So keep rocking.
There you go. Well, I plan to. I don't see any sign of stopping thus far. Right. So, and actually, we're going to be doing like more, more stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. But anyway, yeah. Why don't we hit it over to Gary? How about you?
Well, it's first apologies for the sound quality, but my computer seems to be competing with me to be heard at the moment. But yeah, it's been just under 2 years for me. To be honest, on a personal level, it's been a very, very difficult couple of years with family things going on and personal things going on. And for me, TPLA has been a fantastic thing. I mean, I think I was very much the same as Michael. I don't even know how I discovered that lightsabers existed as a thing. You could actually buy one and throw it around in the garden. But I did, and that sort of led me to Ultra Sabers Forum, and obviously TPLA had a presence there, and that I encountered yourself and Master Bornak and Master Nero, and immediately saw what you were doing and thought, I want to do this. This is. I mean, I had a little bit of a martial arts background, but not in weapons. So I've always had, anything martial arts was going to sort of attract me. And yeah, it was just a case really of I was like, I've got to do this. I want to do this, and immediately started throwing a brush handle around in the garden. I'm probably one of those people you said earlier on about, sometimes people need a push, especially, from people who don't necessarily care if they don't like it. I think I definitely fall into that category of somebody who needs a bit of a push. Every now and again, probably recently a bit more often. And it's good that I've got that, because it is very easy to get into ruts and get into unhelpful patterns of thought. So that's really, really useful. And it's been fantastic over this last few years to just see the material expanding and new things coming in all the time. It's amazing, and I mean, long may it continue. I'm having a blast, and I feel like everyone in TPLA is having a blast. I know it's obviously extremely hard work for you. My hat's off to you for that, because I mean, frankly, you could probably need to do with as many arms and legs as General Grievous to keep up with everything. But yeah. It's just amazing, and I'm so glad that I found you guys. I honestly can't say it any stronger than that.
Well, thank you. No, I mean, and I can speak for all of us that I mean, just for me personally, that just meeting everybody here on the panel, anybody that's been on one of our panels, that's been the greatest thing. I think as I was talking about celebration, that's the one thing that there's do I really need to see a replica of the inside of the Millennium Falcon there now at that point? No, probably not. I can probably see it at Disney World or something like that. I was just in Disney World. There's all kinds of stuff like that, right? But there's, like you said, there's this community. There's all these people kind of getting together, and I think we're really the people that we've got kind of milling around with our program. We've been trying to do that. Yes, apprentices. We kind of realize there are some people who kind of want to go further, right? Everybody can use any of our stuff. As we said, it's open source. It's free to all. It's going to keep coming. It's like I said, I'm one guy. I only have 2 arms, so it's going to have to come out in stages. And it's been 3 years now, and I'm just feeling that I'm finishing up a good, solid foundation of basics. So pretty much everything you see on the site now, or on the channel or anything like that, with some exceptions of some demos and here and there, is all basics. The system that we're using, we consider those first 4 forms to be your pillars, your basics. Those are where you train in kind of basic skills and then move on from that. And so this is all foundation. So, and I know we do get questions like, why don't you do this? And this seems a little, it's like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, that's maybe a stage down, like when you're talking about call and responses and stuff like that. But, so apprentices, we kind of hold them to a higher, kind of a higher standard, because they're going to try to teach this stuff. They're going to be required to go out and spend it on there. And we are still looking for people. We just, since we do have limited people and limited time, we have we don't do the open trials anymore or anything like that. If you go, and we'll put a link up in the comments here to the LX forum on Facebook. That's what we got going right now. We're playing with the idea, hopefully getting one up there if there's enough, support for it, and obviously somebody to run the whole thing and all that kind of thing. But that's a good place to go if you want to get involved. We take all comers. You don't have to work. You don't have to be working towards that stuff. Like Alan said, you can take stuff piecemeal. Hey, I like that. I can go work with that. I can do all of this kind of stuff. That's what it's there for. In that way, I think probably just as a little aside and explanations, I'm hoping to get enough stuff out there so that we will get some imitators at some point. So that I like the idea of having a kind of make-believe universe underlying something that we like. I mean, I think we all do that. We all nerd out on that kind of stuff. With that, but to have an actual real thing where there are different techniques and styles and all of this other kind of stuff, that's starting to happen now. We're seeing that. You said there's lots of different groups who are out there kind of doing that. Now, granted, right now we're still, it's still more towards the staged area kind of thing, but with Ludo Sport and us and all these other people kind of trying to bring a more competitive aspect to it, I think we might get somewhere with it. If not, that's okay. We do this, of course, and I do this, as you said, for the fun of it, for the love of it. Yeah, I do classes. I teach martial arts. I work at a business, and I pay the bills. But this is something kind of off the off there, and it is it's a labor of love. But again, it takes a process. Now, hopefully, we've got other people, getting in here. I know Jared's got a review coming up. Michael's got a review that we're going to be putting out there. So there is that. So anyway, all right. Oh, Alan, you wanted to jump in here?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give a couple words of inspiration. I mean, really, this is a very small community. Honestly, there's not a lot of people doing what we're doing. So anything that you do, even if you're alone, is going to have an impact, and a lot of people are going to notice it. If you're feeling ever like a little bummed out about stuff and you're feeling like you're alone, you're really not. Like the moment that you put a video up on there and you exchange it with your fellow apprentices, or just like on Facebook and just in one of the myriad Facebook groups, people are really looking at it, and they're seeing someone that they want to be, essentially. A lot of the media interest that we get at Golden Gate Knights and Saber Guild is all because of that sort of stuff. We don't go actively around advertising ourselves. It's just people who are just kind of like meandering through the Facebook groups or Googling stuff, and then they find you know, that one little video or something of someone doing something awesome, and then they reach out and contact us. So for all of you who are out there kind of like, oh, you know, you're all alone kind of doing stuff, and you're wondering to yourself, does this even matter? Well, I mean, for one, probably for your personal health, you know, it's probably really great. Two, you know, your own sort of inner fan, it's probably really great too that you can kind of live out that little dream. And three, for the rest of the community that's out there, it means a lot too. It can actually have a really positive impact on things going out there. So I definitely, you know, commend you all for taking that step of doing this by yourself, and you know, hope to further encourage you doing so. What you guys are doing is great.
Absolutely. You're here. All right. Well, why don't we move on over to Eric? You want to add something here to the conversation?
There we go. My mute button will materialize. I would love to.
Yeah.
First off, again, congratulations. 3 years. I mean, that's huge. Yeah, I had no idea that when I when I bought my first saber, which is still my main saber, believe he called it a soup can once, but my soup can now. It's part of me, and yeah, for the last 2.5 years, all I really wanted to do was learn how to spin it properly, and you secretly taught me martial arts, which I think is amazing. Still in shape. This has been sort of, I don't know, what I would call an antidepressant of late. It's just feels good to hold it again. I've been sort of in maintenance mode, especially over the winter. Been trying to get back on track here. But things have been going very well here, so hence the saber has been once again grasped with intention, and finding that I have a lot of work to do. But before that, though, I mean, it's just this stuff just got me through a lot of everything. It was always something I could fall back on, and it was it was more than just a love of Star Wars, I guess. I like Star Wars and all, but I'm not fanatical about it. I've read a lot of the books as a kid, idolized the movies, but all in all, yeah, what I really wanted to do was learn sword techniques and do it in the park without fear of being arrested. Gary, I remember you had an incident where they even came after you for a polycarbonate tube, so that doesn't happen around here. It's just nice. You can people, you know, they smile when they see it. Whereas, you know, if you take a sword outside and people kind of start running for the hills and calling the police on you. It's a win-win, I guess. So it's formed many friendships, including everybody here on the panel. You know, I feel very close to you guys. Even you, Alan. This is the 18th time I've seen you on the show, and these shows. That's another thing. It's the only thing I basically planned or scheduled in my week. Like Friday night, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard, I'm booked for an hour. So I don't know. It's my sabering, as with your teaching, of course, is kind of helped me get back on track, especially to schedule things in my life and just kind of stay organized. And another thing I'd like to add is just about Master Anonymous's hospitality over there in TPLA headquarters. I've helped him out last year with Saber Camp. Hope to do that again, Master Anonymous, if you'll have me again. But Saber Camps, they were absolutely amazing. The Liberty Athletic Club in Ann Arbor, Michigan is just fantastic. Just a wonderful facility. Yeah, and just the hospitality that was shown to me that week, and every time I visited you, you know, it was just amazing. It was like I visited another planet and was welcomed home by family. Then I got to put hockey equipment on and get the shit kicked out of me, but I mean, apart from that, pardon my French, by the way, I am French Canadian. yeah, but it's I don't know. It's been a blast, and I don't know. I can't wait to see it. It's just I'm on Form 3 now, and things are getting spinny around here. But I can spin my 36-inch blade in my apartment without hitting the ceiling too often. So you did something right, sir.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take this to the stratosphere, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is one thing that I'm hoping to do more of in you know, and I have been doing kind of like local workshops, just over here, that sometimes you might see me doing. I'm hoping to get some saber workshops going up here. We are in Ann Arbor, Michigan, so if you're anywhere near, um, you can probably find some place. I've got a weekly saber class that is small and modest, but it's something there. But if there's enough interest, we can get something going. I know we all want to get together at some point, to get together as an organization, as it were. But there you go. Yeah, so I ducked out there really quick because I remembered that I didn't remember the actual thing that I was gonna do because I pulled this out. I still have the very first Ultra Saber that I ever bought for this whole thing. This Dominic's that Red Dominic's or whatever, and I was gonna bring it today because I mean it's beat up, still works, still there, but I do have this, which is the Bride, which is probably this is the second hilt that I kind of pieced together out of that kind of thing. But you'll notice this saber is in a lot of videos, so there's that. I've done some upgrades on it. It's still just a stunt, anything like that. I don't use it as much anymore because I don't have that many people to whack with that much anymore, and I'm kind of getting used to the smaller hilts. So, there's that. But so yeah, we've come a long way as far as that goes. We've got from the big huge Ultra Saber MHS suckers to the Vader's Vault, the Solo's Hold, these little lipstick containers. Jared, show off your Reven there. We'll give him a little hint for your review coming up.
It's definitely a different size than some of the stuff I'm used to, and it's always about what you're used to, in my opinion, because for a while there I was using the Ultra Saber's Consular, which a lot of people think is just a huge beefy hilt, but I loved it. It was great, and it's just I was used to it, so that was all right. Then you change your what you're used to, and suddenly you end up with this little Vader's Vault hilt, and it's great. And this is going to be my next review. So, but yeah, that's how things change too. You change the equipment you're working with. It has an effect.
Absolutely, and I got to tell you, man, the technology and just since we got into it, has gotten so much better. I mean, they're really amazing things. I don't know. Obviously, probably most of you out there who are following us have probably seen this guy already, right? And as you can see, it's one beefy thing. You want to talk about a soup can? This is like an extra. This is one of those family-sized SpaghettiO cans. This thing is big. It suits it. I will say that it's. And I have tried, just playing around with it. It's pretty unwieldy, but it does contain a very difficult to defend special technique, which would make this actually a very good specialized weapon. So do some stuff on there. But very, I mean, nobody's going to be doing the episode 3 spin with this sucker much, because when you come around this way, you're either going to get yourself with this guy or you're going to get yourself with the other one, unfortunately. Now, just doing regular stuff, you can actually spin this around, and that I have found to be the most fun thing to do with this. That's a really nice little flourish there, you know. So I've been playing with that guy, and you know, of course, it's there's no small sense of satisfaction that I get to claim that I do this kind of stuff for a living. So yes, and you know, and I know I know, Alan, you've probably had this. Some of you probably have also had this thing. I was in the airport going to Florida just this thing, and I had my bags with some sabers in them, and person thought they were golf clubs, and then, wait, no, these aren't golf clubs. What is it? And I said, well, they're actually lightsabers. And the person standing next to me was like real lightsabers? I'm like, yeah. Like, so you're like a Jedi? Yes, I am. And that's happened on more than one occasion, and that's not something that you really would think would actually happen to one, but it happens with a little bit of regularity. But anyway, and I know we'll be more visible out there in days to come as episode 7 starts to roll near, as it were. Should we do an obligatory little sidetrack on the new trailer and all that kind of thing? Alan, answer me this: did you see it at Celebration?
Unfortunately, I was on the way to Celebration, but I was in a shuttle with several other random fans from the airport, and so I had my little iPhone out, and as they were putting on the trailer, like, everyone in the van was like, you know, wrapped up and, you know, just enraptured and looking at the small little thing, and actually, like, a couple of people in there cried. Yeah, I knew a lot of people who cried, especially that last little part where where Han said, "Chewie, we're home." Yeah, I thought it was great, and then I started watching it several other times. The spoiler, I mean, the teaser does have a lot of interesting little clues in there as to what we're going to expect. You know, and especially if you kind of freeze frame a couple of the things in there, especially that little montage towards the end. But yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really well done. Just the pacing of it and everything. You know, the voiceover that Mark Hamill did for Luke actually was done just a week prior to Celebration. And I had a friend of mine who works on the inside, and he said that actually that teaser trailer was finished the day of. They actually didn't have that trailer in the bag or in the can until that very morning, because they were tweaking it until the last second. So yeah, that was some fresh stuff there. It was great.
Yeah, no, I totally believe that. Knowing, you know, when you're putting out any type of, no matter how kind of dumb for me, you know,
yeah,
it's like, oh, I still have time to work on it? Well, why aren't I working on it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I especially love the voiceover in the beginning because it was a throwback to Return of the Jedi, and a lot of people at first thought, like, oh, that's just the Return of the Jedi. Voiceover's like, no, that's actually Mark Hamill doing his Luke Skywalker voice, and it sounded like him. Like, I heard it, and it just the way that he enunciated everything was like, wow, this is Luke. This is Luke. We're hearing Luke talking. And I liked how at the very end that he said, and you have it too. And it was almost felt like he was talking to the audience, right? You know, he was talking to us. He was not just talking to any particular person. He was talking to everyone who's there listening. And I thought that was just a brilliant way to kind of acknowledge the fans and everyone else, you know, who was a part of Celebration at the time. You know, we really felt like they were talking to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they pretty much were. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, Celebration was just one big, you know. You would think that it would not, you know, need that kind of thing, but I mean, it's like you said, we tend to think of our community as bigger than it maybe really is, because it kind of feels bigger to us, you know. But you know, I still get questions about stuff, and people still, you know, there's a whole world out there of people who just don't care, you know, yet. You know, I think there's gonna be a lot of people who will kind of come to the dark side too, going for
Or the light. You know, Star Wars Celebration only happens like well up until now. I think every few years. So there was never a convention that was purely dedicated to it. So for a lot of the actors like Mark Hamill and the rest, you know, who've been kind of just living their lives, you know, to be able to come out and see the passion and the intensity and the crowds and everything, it was really overwhelming for them, and it's something that they even remarked hadn't seen in a long time. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it was definitely due. I think it was due. I mean, this was such a good year for it. You know, with the new movie coming out, this new energy that's being provided by, you know, those at Disney and, you know, J.J. Abrams and everyone else. I think it was awesome. It was definitely a feeling of optimism, a new hope.
Yeah.
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 Rather than a descent into darkness.
Yeah, and I think where it comes down to us is that, you know, we're now seeing a very distinct and kind of obvious trend to include fandom into everything, because people are realizing, wait a second, guys, we have a captive audience. You know, they'll take anything we throw at them, you know, and we will. You know, I mean, I still watch the prequels multiple times, even though I can't stand them. You know, we always go through there just for the sake of I got to do it, and that's probably why we're so angry at George Lucas for those, because the people who don't like him, they have to sit through them because we can't skip them. Fast forward through them, but you know, what kind of person are you? Anyway, so we've been getting a couple of things on here on the interwebs here. Some congratulations. So thank you to all those. Kyle, I see there. Let me see. I saw a couple of here. We've got yes, Vornak is having tech troubles, so he's texting in his answers here. Let's see. So yeah. So yep. Good. I don't think I think we've got one question here. How much do you believe you've all improved overall in the past 3 years? And I think we kind of went into that. I know, you know, setting all of this stuff down and making it, you know, as far as my perspective, there's a fair amount of organization that has to go in there. You get to a certain point, and I mean, I've got a lot of information that I'm trying to, you know, piecemeal put over here, and, you know, do that. And when you put it into like a little box, like a video or, you know, book or whatever you do, you got to go into the you know, kind of that area. But and I've completely lost my train of thought. So, but anyway, yes, we've got another here. Where did that comment go? Yes. So Vornok is chiming in, saying that the trailer was rather moving and everything. Um, and Mark Hamill is a phenomenal voice actor, and left him wondering if J.J. Abrams was still involved because there wasn't any significant lens flare. And yes, yes. But if we really get into it, you know, one of the people that I think really pioneered the lens flare technique, the cinema verite type of thing, and did it really, really well is Joss Whedon. You know, if you look at Serenity and, you know, that kind of thing, you see that kind of stuff popping up all the time. So, um, oh, I see. Okay. Ho ho. Everybody's taking pictures now. or maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so we've got good. I mean, the point of my little trailing off there is we've got good times coming ahead of us because we've got lots of people involved in this stuff. We've got a lot. I've got a lot of material that I've still got. I know Jared's got material. I know all of our other masters, our knights have material. So we've got stuff that we can keep, you know, kind of pulling the stops out on there. And one of the things that we are going to get into, you know, pretty soon, and we'll probably do a little bit more with that next week, is bring in, because we have a lot of questions on where we come from, like what's our origin, and, you know, what arts are we bringing these things from. And, you know, we say these things here and there, you know, oh, I come from this art, I come from sport fencing and all that kind of stuff. But we're actually going to try to explore some of that and share those real things with you. And we're going to do that in the form of what we call Sword Lab, which is kind of what we started out a long time ago, where we'll kind of show you where this kind of stuff comes from. Because we've got people from different backgrounds, from Jared's from sport fencing or Olympic fencing, and you know, I'm from Chinese arts. We've got 2 from Japanese, HEMA. Well, we got 3 from Japanese. We got many from Japanese, you know. And then we've got, you know, other people coming up from different kind of stuffs. And nowadays we have so much material available to us. It's a good thing to bring out to everybody. So we'll be doing a lot of stuff with that. I think it will also come in handy when we start talking about the pros and cons of turning things into this, right? Like the lightsaber. Which, right, you know, good idea, you know, lightsaber thing, because it's, you know, oh, well, how does a regular crossguard stop one of these? Well, make it another lightsaber. And, you know, that brings up other questions, and, you know, obviously it's done to resemble something else. This is a symbol. This is an icon, right? So when it turns on in the first trailer, right, the 2 things going out, that's for dramatic effect, you know, and so there you go. But we will be getting into more stuff like that, because we have some pretty rich backgrounds, and I would love to put them on display a lot more too, because like I said, it's, you know, I'm doing you know, much of the stuff, the videos and all that kind of stuff up, but this is all informed by this group kind of behind the scenes working on their own thing, and, you know, helping out with this. And I'm hoping that we're going to get them coming up more into the front. So that would be my goal, you know, kind of going forward here. So does anybody want to riff on that guy, or come up with another topic or something? Where's that cricket sound?
Well, I'm really interested to see.
I just want to say we've all come a long way in terms of figuring out this whole thing. If I had to kind of sum it up, what I kind of feel about it, it started it seems like so long ago, but I mean, I guess it was, but not, but it started with you guys, you and Bornock, kind of building this thing, and it was a big deal, and it was just you were just putting stuff out because just you like that kind of stuff. You were nerding out with your martial arts knowledge, and it was cool because that's a cool concept. Um, and I think it's come a long way in terms of it's hard when you start bringing people in to learn, figuring out what kind of stuff how to teach them in this specific interface. Most of the masters have taught in some way or another, in person, showing people how to do things, doing this. It's different doing it online, working with people, kind of trying to get this information from me to you in a way where you actually absorb it in a way that is helpful. So I just think we've all kind of matured, kind of figured things out. Our program has changed. I've seen it change over. We've had a lot more interaction. The masters and the knights and everyone. We've been trying to get on the same page so we can all kind of get the information across the right way. We've kind of adapted the way we present things. TPLA Live has kind of toned down in favor of some other ideas. Chad's been kind of putting out a few different things on specific instances, questions that people have or common misconceptions or something like that. So that's like a way of us trying to like change things for the better and try and adapt ourselves and kind of make this system work the best for you guys that we can. And I think that's been pretty successful. I think it's been good, and we've all worked together towards this, us, the apprentices, the knights, everyone. And we've all come a long way. So I think it's pretty cool, that we can say we've come this far in a mere, 3 years now. I think we've come a long way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Alan, you were saying something?
Oh yeah, I don't want to take you guys off topic, but I was interested to see what your plans were for the future. I mean, possibly getting some of these people in exile together for a big sort of meeting of sorts, or any sort of performance or paired choreography that you want to be doing, or at the different conventions that you said you were going to. Like, what are some of the future plans in your open source sort of effort of exploring the forums and your teaching?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we want to do, like you said, is obviously we'd like to get all of us, or as many of us together in one place, at some point as well. The nature of how all this kind of thing started is going to be probably going to necessitate that being put off for a little bit, but we can go. I'm going to be offering workshops and stuff like that, and one of the things that I know we've been really looking forward to, and we hope that how we can work on it a little bit more focused, is the dueling system and stuff like that, so we can have some tournaments, and we can have people come out and compete for prizes and fun, do this, the kind of thing that have all kinds of different events and all that kind of thing. I personally would like to get together with like some of the other movers and shakers I know, because I get together with people and I know them, like Hugo from Italy, and Flynn, and from New York Jedi, Nova Star, Kane, all of these, but I know them all kind of like separately, in this, and it would be cool to get all of us in some sort of rule. As far as what's coming out on the videos, I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot more reviews, a lot more content coming out. I'm going to try to keep giving those little addresses and answering questions, and getting out there a little bit more that way, and then try to snazz up stuff a little bit. I've got some ideas on taking things into kind of little different directions, and we'll see what happens. But as you can see, I kind of reformulated everything. We're doing everything in these primers and, kind of organizing them that way. So that seems to be pretty easy as of right now. But the other thing that you got to remember is I don't know what technology holds in store. And something could be invented tomorrow that will revolutionize everything, right? Because that's happened a couple of times in my lifetime, to where you can be working like really hard on something, and then all of a sudden it's like, a perfect example of this is animation. I worked on animation when I was in art school and everything like that, and film animation where you're right, all that kind of thing, and unbelievably expensive, time-consuming, just prohibitive in every manner, right? And doing little animations is like falling off a log these days. Anybody can do it. There's programs you can do them on your phone, right? GIF animations, and this animation and that animation. So who knows what happens? I've always said, the only thing that really binds a good imagination is the ability to go from here to there, and that's becoming much easier nowadays. So. I'm hoping to. So, like in short, I would say, as far as the future goes, is we're hoping to get out there a little bit more so that people can connect with us, easier. Obviously, keep putting out the tutorials and all that kind of thing, but add some extra informative stuff, and just try to get as many people interested in this stuff, and hopefully, as they say, the rising tide lifts all boats. This can, we can add to this whole momentum as we're seeing here. And we also want to get into, with the sword lab and stuff like that, it'll let us get into other weapons other than just lightsabers and things like that. We can get into other universes and all that kind of thing. I'm dying to do some Batleth, and I already have an analog all set up, so it can be done. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. So the apprentices can probably tell you in hushed tones that I've been trying to poke and prod those who are involved in this to become more and more and more involved, and get out there and do some stuff. So I think you probably you hit it, Alan. Is the 3rd year hump, right? I just call it the hump. I don't put a year to it, but everybody hits it, and so it's good. I do think we've gotten over it. All right. Well, in the remaining minutes here, does anybody have anything to add as we close up the show for this evening?
Actually, Master Vornock types to us here. Do you mind if I read it?
Go ahead.
So he says, okay, I'll say this and sign out. Yeah, okay, this is an appropriate moment. It's an honor to have been able to help build the foundation of TPLA. It continues to be a pleasure and an honor to participate even at the minimal level I have available in my life right now. Sometimes 3 years seems to have passed in the blink of an eye. But when you look at everything TPLA has to offer, when you look at everything TPLA has to offer, it's apparent that this is a dedicated, determined group has always been working very hard all this time. Sorry with that. So may the Force be with you always, my friends.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's a very good sentiment. It goes for me too. Starting this out, doing a couple of little videos that I was hoping a couple of campers could reference instead of having a handout, and that would be kind of neat. And it just kind of exploded into this. I can't really complain too much. And I got to thank everybody out there who has subscribed, follows us on Facebook, likes our videos, dislikes our videos, you know, any of you know, you know, and all any and all of you out there, you know, whether you're critics or whether you're supporters, right? It's all about this whole thing, and so there's gonna be some stuff coming up, hopefully, and anyway there. So I will try to wrap it up here. Thank you to our panel. It was great having you. It's been a great 3 years. I'm looking forward to many, many more. Hopefully we'll see everybody around. I will be at Free Comic Book Day in Ann Arbor, Vault of Midnight, next Saturday, 11 to 12. If you want to come check us out or check me out over there, I'll be there. Obviously, I think we'll all be going to go see Avengers at some point, so if you're in the area, you might see me there as well. But other than that, we'll see you sometime soon. Probably going to do a little show for May the 4th or somewhere around there. So until then, have a great weekend and happy sabering.
Happy sabering. May the force be with you.